Remember those primal times when the first thing you saw when you searched PlayStation 5 on Google was an inflated scalper price for the console because, they sold out so fast? And how when you actually saw one of these in store, it was like unboxing a first edition Pokemon card in one pack. Those were crazy times, but like always, us humans reached the next evolution point, and we went from crawling on all fours to being able to readily spend $500. It's beautiful. So now, almost 3 years into the PS5's lifespan, it's looking pretty bright for Sony. Their main consoles are finally available. Later this year, it's rumored to be the release of the PS5 Pro console, and Xbox is fighting for their life right now with the Activision Blizzard deal, so Sony's having a vacation as far as business goes. At least, it's mostly all flowers and roses because, like pretty much every gaming company ever, there's a side of controversy and issues going on within Sony's business. But instead of the problem being an overpriced controller that has a worse battery life than the original, the problem is in the court of law, as PlayStation was recently sued. Now I know when you hear that, you're probably not impressed, and to be honest, I wasn't even impressed when I first heard about the news. Big game companies get sued almost every other week, whatever happened to those gamers that sued Microsoft not too long ago, where they at? These companies get sued left and right, but only a select few of them actually lead to the companies being held accountable and making amends however the court sees fit. So I was skeptical hearing about this lawsuit. However, the case that's being presented is actually interesting as it directly involves PlayStation players, at least if you bought anything from the PlayStation Store, the digital storefront that's included with all PlayStation consoles since PS3 and an online retailer that you can access from your other devices. Obviously, as the name implies, you already know what's sold in this storefront, but consumer rights activist from the UK Alex Neil is attempting to hold Sony legally accountable for bad practices with the PlayStation Store about how consumers are being ripped off on their purchases, quoting, "The game is up for Sony." No shit. Miss Neil makes some solid points in her legal claims, and the points that she brings up can lead Sony in a lot of financial trouble if she manages to win against PlayStation in court. Just like how you can win exclusive content with my Patreon. If you want to support the channel, gain access to exclusive videos that'll never go to YouTube, or be able to watch my channel videos earlier than when I usually upload them, feel free to check the link in the description below and become a Patreon member today. Now, like any other online retailer or really any business in life, Sony obviously takes a cut out of every purchase that you make when you buy games and add-ons directly from them. For game developers, it's like tax on a paycheck. You don't like it, and you really don't understand why they take so much, but it just is what it is. But in all honesty, it's fair for PlayStation. The company needs revenue to continue being the platform that it is, so it's not evil for them to make money off the products sold in their own store. However, what Alex Neil is arguing is that PlayStation is sticking their hand a little too far into the cookie jar of these purchases in their store, and therefore charging ridiculous prices for games and add-ons that could otherwise be cheaper. As of right now, Sony charges a 30% commission fee for a good amount of games on their platform, meaning that game developers are charged 30% of their profits for the sales that they make on the PlayStation Store, which in turn causes them to have to raise the price on otherwise cheaper games just to make some sort of real profit. Take for example Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, an older title that's usually cheap and an utterly trash game, like it's literally disgusting to look at. Get out of my face! But on the PlayStation Store, it still costs full retail price. Prices like on this game, Neil argues that clueless gamers who've paid these insane prices since August of 2016 are entitled to at least $75 to $660 in damages. Now, personally, I'm kind of in the middle of the whole situation. On one hand, it's PlayStation Store, and I feel they have the freedom to charge whatever they want for the things to be sold there. And if people want the cheaper versions on the discs, then, they should just seek buying those. But on the other hand, some games don't even get a disc release, so maybe players are forced to pay the prices that are otherwise lower for certain games on other platforms. So for now, I'm just gonna side with Neil in hopes that gamers get some sort of refund, because You know, if we do, I'm going to be frontline for the money back, because when I was young on PS3, I was buying PlayStation Store cards every chance that I could. So if money is involved, Sony, you scared me. But the case is still in its early stages, and Sony hasn't even publicly responded to anything about it yet. And it's likely going to be that way for a while, as these lawsuits take a long time to actually reach court. Still though, it's an interesting case to say the least, and it could prove justice for the players that deserve to be reimbursed. So we'll just have to wait and see where the case goes in the future. So what do you guys think about this lawsuit, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below, and as always, leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.